Congratulations. Oh my God. How do you feel? That's an obvious first question.
Oh my gosh, it's so surreal and it feels so freeing to finally be able to talk about this. Like Survivor's the biggest thing that has ever happened to me. Not just winning, but being able to play two times back to back. And that is a huge secret I've had to keep for like over half of the year now. And sort of finally be able to address it and talk about it and share with it. I just feel like I feel like a free bird.
Yeah, I'm sure. How did you keep it a secret?
So I'll be honest, I did tell my boyfriend, so he knew everything I had to. But
I
with my
mean, if you're
family,
sleeping with them, you kind of got to, I guess, right?
right. But with my actual family, like my parents, my brother, I told them I placed it differently. I told them I got far, but I didn't actually win. And I told them it was because of my social game that I did so poorly. And
Yeah.
so not poorly, but I that I didn't win. And so
Yeah.
I think it was kind of believable at one point in the season. And so it was really fun last night to watch with them.
What was it like then watching their faces? Because it's that's like the ultimate joyous thing that only it's literally only you can process that surprise for them. Like what did that feel like?
So I'll be honest, I didn't see their reactions because I'm also
Oh,
watching Tribal Council for the first time. But what was
yeah.
so impactful to me was hearing like my dad and my brother crying. I've never really heard them like, get that emotional. And I think especially too, like as men, sometimes like you feel like you have to, not show your emotions. And to see that from my dad, like it felt so special. And to, feel their bear hugs around me, it was incredible.
Well, and for all the sort of girl dads out there to see that all women like tribal the final that I mean and then for you to win that A must have made them feel so good, but for like that's just such a special thing and that's so rare in survivor history.
It really is. And I think it speaks to the caliber of women in general who were on our season. I mean, you look at the women on the jury, they all played incredible games. They were some of the biggest physical threats. I love seeing that and I love being a part of it. And people also say like Survivor is a reflection of what is happening in our world. And so I look at the strong women who were on our season, and I really do think it's a little indicative of the women that are, in our country, in our society today, just being so incredibly kick-ass.
I mean, boss ladies, that was the theme through and through all season. The only one that was sort of like always around the women that wasn't a woman was Rizzo. Everyone else was, it was really, really for as a fan and one who supports and loves the female players, it was really great to watch.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll be real, like it was so fun to work with Rizzo too, especially like with him and Soph. Soph and I both
Yeah.
have younger brothers. And I think Rizzo really felt like that younger brother that, we had back home, but out on the island that we could just relate to on a
Yeah.
different level than just game. It was like family.
For sure. Well, one thing, and I want to ask everyone this because one thing that I love is the internet's reaction to the beginning of the episode being preempted by Trump speaking, and now Trump speaking said and saying what he said, whatever. But the internet being angry, more angry that they couldn't watch Survivor. They would rather watch Survivor than the president speak. I need to know that.
I mean, my reaction to that, I mean, like honestly, like I'll be real. I kind of get it. Like politics in general, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, it's always so hard to talk about. And for me, at least, I'm a huge Survivor fan. I watch reality TV, whether it's Survivor or The Real Housewives, to kind of get a little like break from reality. So for
Hmm.
the internet, that was a little like, what's going on? Like I probably would have been one of them too.
I would too. I don't care what president it is. Just let me watch my program.
Exactly. Let me turn my brain off for a minute.
Yeah. Well, so okay, I need to know being the winner, being the sole survivor, you worked you dashed so many records this season. You did so many great things. You achieved so much. Looking back at your time, what is something that you have so much to be proud of? What is something that you're most proud of?
Oh my gosh. I mean, winning. I'll be honest with you. And
Well,
I'm
of
sorry if that's a
course.
cop-out answer. But
Yeah.
even when I was in the season and I achieved the immunity record, and I had my amazing alliance that like ran the game at the very end, like those are both things that I should be and that I am incredibly proud of. But at the same
Hmm.
time, like when I went out to play the game, my goal was only to win. You know what I mean? Everything else is
Yeah.
always going to feel second to that. And I kind of touched on that a little bit in the episode, but I was just so laser focused on making it to the end and ultimately winning. And I'm very proud that I did.
Well, and it also seems like too, you didn't put up the artifice to get necessarily people to like you, or you were very direct in a lot of times, which I appreciated a lot because that's a bold game to play. It's a risky game to play sometimes, but it's a bold game to play. Was that a decision on your end?
Yes and no. I think especially with like my bold and direct gameplay, especially I'll say like with Christina, for example, that boldness really came out when I realized like we're probably not going to be working together. So what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
I entered the game thinking I don't need to ultimately win by a unanimous vote. I just need to have enough votes to win at the end. And I kind of approach my life like that too. I don't need everything. I just need what I need to succeed, so to speak. And so when I'm being bold with Christina, in that moment, it's really just to elicit the response that I need from her. Who are you voting for? I can gauge if you're voting for me based on your response. And I don't have to sugarcoat or be nice because we've already kind of established that there probably won't be a good working relationship with with
Yeah.
one another there. And I will
Yeah.
say, like, I love Christina out of the game. She's like awesome and amazing woman that I now am proud to call a friend. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to see the different styles of communication come into play out there.
So you will be on 50, which is so exciting. I don't need to know anything about 50 because I don't want to know. I want to be surprised, just like every other fan out there. But I do want to know how to go from playing one game to right back into Survivor. How did your body take it? Like, how physically are you?
Yeah, honestly, it was really brutal. And I'll say, like, with timeline, like I'm months removed now. Like we've been
Yes.
back to normal life for quite some time now. I think the hardest part was honestly coming out of 50. I gained a lot of weight super fast, if I'm being honest. I gained about 30 pounds in a span of 2 months,
Wow.
which is crazy.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
know it was hard mentally and it was hard physically too. Just because when you get around food, it's this warped mindset where you literally cannot stop eating. And I had no control over what I was putting in my mouth. And I've never really been like that. So that was hard and difficult. But again, like we're so far removed now. And CBS was amazing about getting me help with a nutritionist. They offer nutritionists to everybody who plays the game. And also like therapists too, to kind of help me with some of my mental struggles during that time. So it was tough. I think I'm on the other side of it, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, it was mostly the coming out of 50, the two back to back where it was really
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, I bet. Well, my last question for you is you talked about on the show being let go as a news anchor from from your job and stuff, and which I thought, I mean, that experience of being let go from a job, it's something that a lot of people have to feel, and go through, but it's also something that a lot of people don't talk about openly, even within a game situation. Now, yes, in your situation, it could be like, give me $1 million, I lost my job. But still, you did it in a really you were really open about it. So I wanted to know, A, why did you make the decision to even say that? You could have just said you were a former anchor and that be the end of it. But you decided to say you were let go. And then B, what are you going to do with the money?
Okay, I'll do part one first. And I'll start with I loved Survivor growing up, and when the show started airing back in the day, it was a time before social media, and I think a time before people were so conscious about what they said on TV. And in some cases, that was not a good thing. But in other cases, like you get such an authentic version of someone, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I think that over time, it's so natural to see people maybe become a little bit more censored or a little bit more mindful about what they're saying when the cameras are on. And so when I had the privilege, because it truly was a privilege to play this game, I told myself, I'm gonna bear it all. You're gonna know me at my best, you're gonna know me at my worst, you're gonna know all of my things that I'm proud of, and you're gonna know the things that I'm disappointed in that I haven't been able to do. I know I come across as very confident, but I have many flaws and I've had many failures. And I think that by owning your failures, it gives other people the freedom and the encouragement to say, hey, everybody fails, and that's okay. Because on the other side of failure, there can so often be opportunities like there was for me. And when Jawan asked me that question about, what is your why? I wanted to provide like a full comprehensive answer. Like I wasn't looking for anyone's pity. I wasn't looking for someone to give me $1 million because I had, been let go about a year before. But I just wanted people to know, like, this is who I am. that's just a little insight there. And
Mm.
as for the money now, I am super excited. My partner and I have had a crazy year with all the Survivor stuff. He has been my number one fan throughout everything. He's just been incredible. And so the two of us are going to go on a little celebratory vacation. We're going to go to Thailand, and I'm so excited to just spend time with each other and, not talk about Survivor, hopefully for a little bit. And eat all the food and sleep on a comfy bed and just enjoy like some
Mhm.
quality time together in a beautiful place.
That sounds wonderful. Well, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. You definitely deserve all the joy.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Of course. Have a great one.
Thanks.